Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Pastor Shay, aka Chaplain G, coming back at y'all with another word of encouragement for today. So, check this out. I found myself in the book of Job today, and for a lot of folks, it's one of their favorite books of the Bible, man, because it kind of just highlights one of those stories where God He's not oblivious to our suffering. He's actually like right there paying attention. And so a lot of people gravitate toward it, man, especially when they hit hard times. And I know a lot of people, as they're going through some of the stuff they're going through in life right now, they're looking toward the book of Job and they're like, man, it's encouraging to know that God is right there with me, that he hasn't left me. None of this stuff is escaping his notice, and that he's actually moving in the benefit of his people, right? There's a lot of folks that are gravitating toward it. So I was reading through it, just kind of fiddling my way around it, but there was this verse that stuck out to me that I wanted to bring to y'all and just point out a few different things about it that I thought would be an encouraging word. So check this out. It is Job chapter 2. And I'm going to pick it up in verse 9, but I'm going to set a little bit of scene first. So this is right at the beginning of the book of Job. God is super pleased with Job, right? Like Job is killing it out there, out in the middle of Iraq somewhere. Modern day Iraq anyway. And God holds counsel in his court, and the chump Satan comes along and is like, yo, I know you like your boy Job and all, but the only reason that he's still like on your squad is because you keep giving him stuff. I guaranteed if you stop giving him nice stuff that he would curse you to your face. And God was like, now my boy Job, man, like you could try it out, but he's a monster. And so sure enough, Satan goes and just God allows Satan to just afflict the man with all kind of stuff, like kills off his kids, kills off all his wealth, his houses. Like he was a wealthy dude. And where I'm about to pick it up is right when, like he had like these boils on his skin that he would take like broken shards of pottery and just scrape it off as he's like sitting in ashes. Like he's a hot mess, right? But all the while he's still praising God. God is still with him. And even his wife was like, what are you doing? Why are you still serving God? It's obviously he's left you. So that's where I'm going to pick it up. It picks up in verse 9. Then his wife said to him, do you still hold fast your integrity? Curse God and die. But he said to her, you speak as one of the foolish women would speak. Shall we receive good from God? And shall we not receive evil? In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. So, oh my gosh, there's so much to flesh out in this, man. But there's just a few things that I wanna hip you to as a word of encouragement. Here's the first one. Don't let somebody steal your joy. It's people, even the people that are closest to you, man. They're going to try to dissuade you from following God. Sometimes it's not on purpose. Like even Peter, as he's talking to Jesus, one of Jesus' closest followers, Peter was like, by no means will you die this death that you keep talking about over and over and over and over. And Jesus was like, get behind me, Satan. Even the people closest to us sometimes are not going to have God's intentions in mind, right? So be wary of that. As those people are operating your life, man, if God is giving you something and they're trying to dissuade you from following God, man, you might have to put them to the side for a minute. That's what Job kind of had. He kind of had to check his wife on this one, right? Here's another thing. There's a misnomer about God that God does all the good stuff in your life, Satan does all the bad stuff in your life. And Job knew the truth of that. He said, shall we not receive good from God and not get the evil too? Because what Job understood, right? Even the bad stuff that happens in life is for our growth. It's for our maturity. It's for the raising up and the perfecting of God's saints. And so if you've got some messed up stuff happening to you right now, this is something I've had to kind of cling to in these last couple years. It's not God trying to punish you. I want you to hear me. The bad stuff that's going on in your life is not necessarily God trying to punish you. It's for the perfecting of your faith. And so rejoice in it. Job has some messed up stuff happening in his life, man, and still he had the clarity of mind to say, how are we just going to receive all these blessings from God and not expect him to give us some bad stuff to grow us? And that's just a general rule of life, man. Like if you are playing a sport or something like that, right? Your coaches are not just going to praise you all the time. They're going to find something that you need to improve on. You in the weight room, you got to push yourself, man. It's got to hurt in order to grow. Basic training. When we went through basic training, it sucked. But it was for the perfecting of our duty, man. It was for to make us better airmen. Not everything. God is just not going to give you just a bunch of what you deem as positive stuff in your life. He's going to give you some stuff where you're like, man, this hurts. And God is like, I know it hurts, but I want you to endure it so you can grow your faith. So that's my other word of encouragement. Here's my third word of encouragement. If you notice, that last sentence says, in all this, Job did not sin with his lips. So there's a lot of times we're afraid to talk to God just as is. Like, as if we're going to hurt God's feelings with the struggles that we go through. Man, God says come to him with everything. Absolutely everything. There's nothing that you can't come to God with. You don't have to clean it up first. Doesn't have to be spotless as it comes out. God is big enough to handle our gripes. Just like with our kids, we're big enough to handle their gripes when they go through stuff. God says, come to me. I know it sucks. I know it stinks, but I'm here to listen. I'm here with you as I'm taking you through this stuff. Don't let anybody get in between me and you, because I love you. And this is what we saw Christ going through as he was on the cross, man. He's like, Pops, like, why would you leave me? Where are you? But it was for a purpose. God had a very intent purpose for allowing Christ to die on the cross, for resurrecting him from the dead. It was so all those who identify with the sufferings of Christ can be raised up. Suffering's not a bad thing. It's for the perfecting of our faith. Don't let anybody get in between you and God. But I don't want this to go too long, man. There's so much more. There's so much to the book of Job. I'm gonna have to come back to it, man. This is a fun book, and God does some pretty cool stuff in there. But man, I hope y'all doing well. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, man. All that jazz. I love y'all. Hope y'all doing good. Until next time, grace and peace.